Hi, I'm Kesenya and welcome to Guiding Star Astrology. I'm your Astro Weather Girl, here with this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm going to show you how the stars are going to affect your life this week. To get the most out of this video, listen to the intro so that you know what's going to affect you and when it's going to happen in the week ahead. Lastly, use the timestamps in the description to go to your rising sign, sun sign and moon sign in order to learn how things will affect you personally. I'd like to point out that this will be a general read. We're looking at the general influence of the stars upon our life. If you would like to know something more specific about your life and how the stars are specifically interacting with you, I would suggest getting a reading with a professional astrologer. You can do so with me through the link in the description below if you would like. I'd like to give a special welcome to anyone who is new to astrology. You're so welcome here at this channel. If you would like to learn to read your own astrology chart, I offer a short course. It's very cheap and it's lots of fun. The link is in the description below. To all of my friends who join me here each week, who like and share my videos and subscribe to my channel, I do love you. To my gold and silver and bronze star family members, I do pray for you every day. I thank the universe for your presence in my life. If anyone would like to join the Guiding Star family, the link is also in the description below. And now to this week's Spotlight. Happy birthday! Did you know you can get a full year ahead reading with me, with all the astrological bells and whistles, including what to expect in the year ahead and key dates to look out for? We look at profections, transits, dashes, eclipses, your solar return chart, and the progress chart. It's the best gift you can give yourself for your birthday. Book now at the website. And happy birthday! So if you're looking for a good day to initiate something in your life, the best electional days for the week ahead are falling on the 20th, the 21st and the 22nd of May. These days will give the most positive results from whatever you initiate on these days, especially for anything to do with research, deep study, deep introspection, therapy, sexual issues, surgeries, general surgeries as well. Like I always say, you do want to get things checked out against your own personal chart if you are looking to have an important surgery, but general things should turn out okay this week. Investigation and psychological work, and this is of course provided that you initiate these things when the moon is not void. That's always the key. So those are the three best days that we're looking at this week. In the week of the 15th of May to the 22nd of May. We're also going to be having 3 planets out of bounds this week. This will be the moon. It's out of bounds on the 15th, 16th and 17th of May. And Mercury and Mars are out of bounds all week long. What does this mean? Well, you need to know what these planets rule in your chart. Let's go through them just briefly. The moon rules the sign of Cancer. So where does Cancer fall in your chart? That will be under the influence of this out-of-bounds energy. Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. Couldn't find it for a second there. So anything that is governed in your chart by Virgo or Gemini will be influenced by this out-of-bounds Mercury, and also Mars, which rules Scorpio and Aries. Where does Scorpio and Aries fall in your chart? They will also be under the influence of this out-of-bounds moon, which basically is the energy of a wild card. These are the areas of life that we're going to be feeling restless. These are the areas of life that we're going to be also feeling somewhat creative in a brilliant, maybe quite eccentric way under this influence, and maybe even a bit out of control because of this influence as well. Feeling like I said, like a wild card, like things aren't quite normal in these spheres of life. They're giving more results, but they could be giving a lot of unexpected results, these spheres of your life as well. So if you know your chart, and you know what these things rule, then you'll be able to figure out where you might be getting a bit of a wildcard influence this week. Let's dive now into the aspects that are forming this week. We have on the 17th of May, and do remember to check in the description box below for where this might be falling at your time and place in the world, because it's different based on where you are locationally. But on the 17th of May, we're having a lovely energy. We're having the Sun making a trine to Pluto at 26 degrees. This is wonderful. So if you've got to make a powerful impression in some way, this is the day to do it. May the 17th, certainly where I am in the world, it's May the 17th. Again, check the description box below. You're going to knock their socks off. If you have to go in for that job interview, if you have to make a good impression with a first date, if you have to apply for, I don't know, a loan at the bank or something, you're going to make a great impression on this day, because this is a day for really sticking in people's minds and initiating and bringing your power to the fore in an easy, harmonious way. So of course, this helps us with any ambitions that we want to realize. Both the Sun and Pluto are very ambitious planets. Pluto's about power and the Sun is about how we shine in the world, how we show up with confidence. So both have this energy of personal power. And if we're feeling powerful, if we're feeling invincible, like we can take on the world like a superhero, then we may find that our intentions and our ambitions manifest with greater ease under this energy, which is lovely. Now, we all have times where we need to kind of empty the bin, so to speak. Take out the trash, let the garbage truck come and collect it and take it away. And I'm talking psychologically here. We all have times in our life where that needs to happen. Pluto is the god of, or the planetary energy, if you like, of this kind of getting rid of the trash, dissolving, decomposing, excreting energy. And that's what Pluto is all about. He wants to compost the crap. And the Sun, with its beautiful connection to Pluto, is illuminating the crap that needs to go right now. And it's doing so in an easy way. So don't be surprised if some revelations come up in your life and you're like, oh my God, never knew I had that issue going on with me before. I'm over that. I've outgrown that. Out with it. Out with the trash. So this is an energy that helps illuminate what's in the dark corners of your psyche, get rid of it, set you free to shine like the sun just a little bit more in your life. So enjoy taking out the trash. It won't come with any painful experiences today. It will just happen in an easy, natural manner. Then on the 18th of May, we are having a conjunction here of beautiful Venus with the North Node in Gemini, and this is wonderful. We talked last week extensively about the energy of Mercury with the North Node and how it affects our future karma, and the words we spoke last week were going to be very significant in what our future held for us. This week, it's the same kind of principle, but it's relating to things to do with Venus. How we show our love, how we invest in our beauty and be like beautiful people from the inside out, how we interact with our friendships. These things are going to be very influential in what we create karmically for our future this week. We're also going to be influenced by our spending karmically. So how you spend your money will influence what occurs for you in the future for you karmically. Now, let's give an example. Let's say that you decide to be stingy this week and not generous with your money and a real tight ass. Well, hello, there's your future karma being created. If you decide that you are going to be kind with your money and charitable with your money and benevolent with your money, there's your future karma created. It's as simple as that. Venus is the planet of spending, and how we spend our money will create what we receive karmically as fruit in the future. Venus is also the planet of forgiveness. So our ability to forgive on this day, the 18th of May, is going to really set up for us karmically the fruit that we reap. So if you want to be forgiven in your life for the things you do that, are not so on point, then maybe it's time to forgive somebody else on the 18th of May for things that they have done, and to walk away from a situation that's upsetting or that's been hurtful and go into forgiveness where you can. Venus can also give the ability to forgive easier on this day. Like, what happens is that Rahu, the north node of the moon, is hungry for more of whatever it touches, and it's touching Venus on this day, and Venus is forgiveness. So you might be hungry for forgiveness in your own life, and desirous of being able to forgive. It gives you more empowerment, let's say, to be able to forgive where forgiveness is needed. So I love this energy. It's going to be a great day if we work with it to our best advantage for our future. Also, because Rahu, the North Node, is hungry, you might be hungry for more stuff, more things, more possessions, more shoes, more clothes, more food in your cupboard, more everything. Because Venus rules possessions. It's the governing planet of Taurus, which has linkages to the second house, of course. And the second house is all about the material things that we use in our life to support our journey in the body. So you might find that you're a bit more indulgent than usual on the 18th of May, where you're, I don't know, maybe you go and to buy a candle to burn in your little altar section of your house, if you have one, and you go to the candle shop and you end up walking out with about 10 candles instead of one. You know, we can be a bit more hungry for stuff. We're also hungry for beauty. We want more beauty in our life, so why not indulge in that? Go and have a beautiful experience, whether that's a walk in the park or a lovely meal, or go and go take the kids out for ice cream or something. Do something that allows you to embrace Venusian energy. And remember, Venus has a sweet tooth as well, so ice cream goes down well. But Rahu wants to have more of that beautiful, the beautiful experiences, the beautiful sensual, tactile things that Venus rules, the touch, taste, sight, sound, smell things that Venus is all about. Of course, Venus is love, and we're hungry for more love on this day. So it's our chance now to be loving. We can also receive more love now. And of course, what we energetically embody is what we attract. So if you are coming from a point of love and giving and generosity through love, then you tend to receive more love and giving and generosity through love as well. We might be hungry for more money, looking for ways to make money, and not necessarily scheming, that's not what I'm talking about, but looking for opportunities to invest or to grow our money in some way. We might have that on the brain a bit during this day, the 18th of May. And we might also be hungry for more luxury, more grace, more ease, more delight, more pleasure, all those nice things that make life worth living. You might decide you want to experience a classical music concert on this day, which is something you might not ordinarily do, or you might decide that you want to go and have a fine meal out. We're hungry for those gracious pleasures that we don't usually indulge in. So enjoy it. I think it's going to be lovely. Now, more Venus actions occurring on the 20th of May. We are having another lovely interaction. This time it's going to be a trine from Venus to Saturn. So that's going to be a lovely energy as well. Venus and Saturn are friends. When they're in hard aspect, like a conjunction, a square, or an opposition, it's not very nice. It can be quite depressing, and we feel like we're lacking in self-love and appreciation and all the beauties and joys of life. Those things that Venus rules, Saturn puts the kibosh on those when he's in hard aspect. But this day, the 20th of May, there's going to be a beautiful trine between these two friends in the horoscope. There's a nice twist actually on what occurred back in April when we had those hard aspects between Venus and Saturn. This one's going to give us the self-control we need to be able to handle our emotions better and easier now. Particularly emotions that have to do with relationships. In fact, we're going to feel more solid and secure in our relationships on the 20th of May in general. Everyone's chart is different. We need to take things in the context of our chart, obviously, but generally the general energy of the day is going to be that we will feel more solid and secure in our relationships, unless we're having some sort of upheaval transit in our natal chart. But partners in our life, they can actually provide a lot of constructive assistance for us at this time, for each other. Saturn is structure, Saturn is building for the future, and there's it's not a creative element per se, but it's more let's make things solid and strong. And so under this energy, your partners, Venus, can help you structure your life to create for the future. it can be a really manifesting influence that helps our goals to materialize. So if you have goals and dreams and you're working together with someone on those things, perfect energy on the 20th of May. If you've been in a changeable relationship, an on again, off again relationship, this is an energy that could solidify things and sort of draw that sort of on again, off again feeling to a bit of a close. It can see a relationship, if it's interacting with certain points in your natal chart, this energy could see a relationship becoming more serious or more committed. Very nice, if that's what you're after. Venus is also in charge of our personal style and the presentation that we have through our clothes and our makeup and our hair and all those sorts of very style-oriented things about us. And so on this day, with a connection to the rather somber Saturn, we might be wearing more somber colors, more blacks, more grays, more browns. We might also have a much more conservative approach to how we dress, or even a more classical approach to how we dress. That can be the influence of Saturn with Venus. And so watch what you wear, what you pull out of the wardrobe to wear on the 20th of May. It will be very interesting to see Saturn's influence on what you dress in. On the 21st of May, we've got a lovely little sojourn from the Sun. Let's move him along a bit into Gemini by this stage, moving into the first degree of Gemini on the 21st. So it's Gemini season. Happy birthday, Gemini people. You might like one of my year ahead readings if you are a Gemini sun person. Get your party shoes on now. And Gemini loves to party. Gemini loves fun, it loves playfulness, games and jokes. So we might find there's a lighter atmosphere now when the Sun is in this very playful energy. And the Sun, which represents our confidence, is here for 30 days in this sign, and we might feel our confidence boosted by interactions with others and being social, because it's a very social energy, the energy of Gemini. Our spirits might get lifted by hanging out with friends or meeting up at the coffee shop or just being out and about and busy and connecting. We might like to get involved in some sort of a workshop under this energy, or new learning experiences and opportunities perhaps, or having fun wherever the action is, wherever it's, exciting to be. These sorts of things will boost our spirits, give us more vitality now, and help us to shine our confidence. Good times, people, good times. And the final energy for this week, and it's all looking fairly good this week, here is our only hard aspect of note. It's going to be a square between the Sun and Jupiter, because Jupiter's now in Pisces and the Sun is now in Gemini, and they're at the first degrees, making this aspect of a square. So do you feel like you're the king of the world on this day? Bit of Leonardo DiCaprio on the boat on the Titanic going on? It's quite possible that's how you are going to feel, because your vitality is enhanced. This is an energy of growth from Jupiter going to the Sun, your confidence, and boom, you feel like you can take on the world and that you're invincible. That can be really, really nice, but there's always a but with a hard aspect, isn't there? But Jupiter and the Sun, even though they're doing good to each other in that sense, this hard aspect can have some challenges. Despite Jupiter's benevolence, we may find that we have a good deal of restlessness now, or discontent with our lives. We're feeling a little bit like, not like something's missing, but just like we want more. Remember that the Sun is also, as well as our confidence, the Sun is our ego, and Jupiter expands whatever it touches. In a hard aspect like this, you might become a little bit too big for your britches, as we say, very old-fashionedly. You might find, if you were to step back in a detached manner and observe yourself, that you're acting a little bit too cocky. Or you might observe those around you acting a little bit too full of themselves as well. There's also a tendency to overindulge and overextend ourselves with this interaction as well. So just be careful of having that third serving of chocolate mousse. Might not do you any good. This indulgence where you feel invincible and you regret it later. Remember, think about this on the 22nd of May. Think about this energy of overindulgence, overextension, overinflation of the self and the ego. Remember those things and know that it is a fleeting energy. It will pass. You know, within a couple of days, the sun will be beyond this aspect to Jupiter. It's no longer going to be a thing. So don't do things that you might regret on this day and, watch the energy roll on by, basically. So let's take a look now at all signs, and you can look at your sun, moon, or rising sign here. We're going to be looking at Venus with the North Node. I'm really enjoying exploring the energies of this karmic interaction that we're getting with the North Node at this time of the year. So Venus with the North Node occurring up here in Gemini on the 18th of May. Let's start with Gemini. Gemini rising, sun or moon people. This energy, if Gemini is your first house or your sun or moon placement, this energy is falling in the first house, funnily enough. So this is where we need to be very conscious of our spending, and what we spend our money on at this time is going to affect our future. So you might be more desirous of spending money on yourself under this energy. You know, indulging in a new haircut, indulging in, a nail spa, or, getting, some brand new clothes or something to affect your image, because the first house is our image and our presentation to the world. It's also the house of survival and thrival and our ability to show up in the world. So you might be spending money on those kinds of things just to survive, just to thrive in the world under this energy, and be very wary of how you're spending your money in that regard, because it will affect your future karma. Now, this is also the house of self-assertion, but Venus with the North Node here is asking you to forgive. So you might like to, assert yourself in some way that's forgiving. I don't know how that might actually play out, but we're looking at the combination of these energies. Maybe it's time you forgave yourself for something. Maybe you stood up in a certain circumstance and honored yourself and asserted yourself, and you've been maybe you suffered for that. That does happen. Maybe you've been feeling bad because you took that stand and you suffered for it. Well, Venus with the North Node might be calling you to forgive yourself for your, for taking that stand, for asserting yourself. The first house can also be a bit rash sometimes. The energy there is all about sort of Aries type stuff, rushing in. And you might have rushed in some way in your life, and you need to forgive yourself for sort of rushing in instead of taking your time, or, weighing up all the options. So really, this energy is calling you to forgive yourself for something that may have happened. And it's asking you to show love for yourself. And if you do these things, if you show love for yourself, then under this influence, you are creating good karma for yourself in the future. So where do you need to show love for yourself in your life? Maybe that is by getting, some new indulgence or treatment or something for your image. But it might also be that you need to show love for yourself by honoring your need to assert yourself, or to stand up for yourself, or to allow your fearless spirit to shine through now. That might be where you can actually show yourself love, by honoring yourself. All of these kinds of things will be going towards creating future karma on the 18th of May. We're also hungry for more things of Venus on this day, and so you might be hungry for more personal indulgences that affect your body. This is the house of the body. So a massage, maybe some cupping treatment, or a chiropractic visit, or something that is going to be very tactile and sensual for the body. You might go get a facial, something like that, go to a day spa. Those kinds of things would be supported under this energy, because Venus and Rahu in the first house are hungry for those tactile, sensual experiences for the body. All right, so moving along, let's go with Taurus rising, sun or moon puts the energy of Venus conjunct the North Node in your second house. This is the house of anything that is valuable. And when we've got this desirous energy of Rahu and Venus together in the second house, we're going to be hungry to spend our money. So depending on your current life circumstances, you might have to be very wary of that desire in balance with your budget. So make sure you know how much money is in the bank, and don't go sort of splashing the cash around where you can't afford to. If you're not in those sorts of circumstances, then you might find yourself lashing out on some like new piece of furniture or something just a bit more indulgent than usual, maybe a short trip or an overnight stay somewhere. Gemini rules those sorts of things, and you might be splashing the cash around. But keep in mind that there is also going to be karma associated with how you spend your money. So if you can look to spend your money in ways that serve you well for the future, you're building good karma for yourself. So by that I mean maybe you might like to invest in studying something. Gemini is to do a workshop. Maybe you might want to do an astrology workshop or something like that. And that would be a good way to spend your money, because it's going to apply to your future and help your future in some way by learning some sort of new skill or talent or ability. We are also not wary, perhaps that's not the right word, but we know that with Venus being amplified by the North Node, our ability to forgive is going to be extended now too. Perhaps we need to forgive ourselves for some spending that we have undertaken in the past. Maybe we've indulged somewhere and regretted it. Maybe we need to just be kind to ourselves and forgive ourselves now for the way we've used our money. And maybe in this house of personal value as well, we need to just generally forgive ourselves for maybe not being perfect, and none of us are, or maybe having let ourselves down in some way. Maybe we need to focus on self-forgiveness on this day and show love to ourselves. Self-love, house of values, house of how we personally value ourselves. So show love to yourself today, and you might like to do that through some kind of tactile, sensual Venusian experience. Maybe getting, I don't know, a massage. Maybe you might like to get some kind of sound therapy, healing, perhaps treatment. This is the house of the five senses. The material world that we experience through sight, sound, smell, and touch. So getting any kind of indulgent experience in those realms, like a sound healing or some sort of a massage or a day spa treatment or something, maybe buying a new CD or tickets to a wonderful concert, lovely sound kind of things. All of this stuff it could be a really great way to show love for yourself, and it's a good day for doing that. Venus, which rules self-love, with the amplification of the North Node, making you desire to show yourself more self-love. And this is really good to do for future karma as well. The second house actually shows how we can increase our sense of self-worth and self-value, and where you can direct your self-love. And for Taurus people with Gemini here, one thing you can do to love yourself is allow yourself the time and space and ability to learn new skills and abilities, or to connect and socialize. And when you do these things, you can actually create better prosperity for yourself by being more Gemini, let's say. So you might like to network more, socialize more, connect more. You might like to learn new skills, and you might like to take an approach that's a bit more bright and breezy and bubbly with regard to making increasing your prosperity. But it's first and foremost in the second house, when we increase our self-love, then our financial situation follows suit and increases. And that's true for everybody. And with Venus conjuncting the North Node here, your ability to forgive yourself, to show love to yourself, comes first and gives you the ability to then generate more prosperity in the material realm. So make it a priority on this day, because you'll be creating future karma for yourself materially through the self-love you give yourself on the 18th of May. I hope that makes sense. Moving right along, we're going to Aries rising sun or moon people. The energy of Venus conjunct with the North Node is falling in your third house. This is where we might be desirous of spending money on third house things, short trips, travels, like little localized travels, spending money on small businesses or on our small business, buying and selling, trading, spending money on advertising or marketing, doing a workshop, doing a course. These are all good things to spend money on. And you can actually help your future karma and your future karmic fruit by spending money wisely in these areas now. So maybe you've been longing to become an astrologer. Well, this would be a great day to spend money on doing a course, doing maybe maybe one of my courses. But increase your skills on this day. Put your money into skills development, and you will find that you create and generate positive future karma for yourself. Also, this is an energy of forgiveness, and this is going to contribute a lot to our future karma on the 18th of May. So if you've got neighbors that you need to forgive, if you've got siblings that you need to forgive, I'm not saying go and put yourself in a martyrdom position, but I am saying energetically turn to that person and forgive them. You don't have to actually literally go to that person and say, hey, I forgive you. Maybe the circumstances aren't right for that, but energetically offer forgiveness. Say to the universe, I forgive them and I set myself free. If you can do that on this day, you will create tremendous future karma. So this is with anyone who is a relative, a neighbor, a sibling, or a teammate even as well. Maybe even childhood, like primary school age issues. It could be a bully that we would see. Potentially some charts might show that a bully in childhood, primary school level. Primary school level is connected to Gemini. And if you were the recipient of some sort of horrible bullying, then it is a day when North Node and Venus can encourage you to energetically forgive that early childhood experience. It's also a time for showing love to ourselves. So on the 18th of May, how can you show love to yourself? Potentially through third house mechanisms, by connecting with, as I said, doing a course to expand your skills and talents and abilities. That's actually a wonderful way to show love to ourselves, to create or grow rather our sense of self-worth and self-value, which are things that Venus rules. And this, as I said before, is going to create great future karma. We tend to be more hungry for the things of Venus in the third house. So it might be doing some pleasurable short course or workshop, maybe a makeup artistry course or a, chocolate cookery course or something, some skill or ability that's pleasurable and indulgent, as is the nature of Venus, you might enjoy and be hungry for. So that's the general look for Aries people at the energy, of the 18th of May. Now, if we are Pisces rising, sun or moon people, we are having, this is going to be quite influential for Pisces people because this is occurring in an angular house, and when something happens in an angular house, then it's felt more, it's stronger for us. So Pisces people are going to feel this energy of Venus with Rahu very, very strongly. And this is going to mean that for Pisces people, they're going to need to be quite conscious of how they spend their money on their home and domestic environment under this energy. How you spend will generate your future karmic fruit. So, you might be looking to renovate, you might be looking to get a new piece of furniture or decorate things, or maybe you're just spending money on stocking the pantry or something, some domestic circumstance. And be very conscious of how you're doing this. Let me give you an example. Fourth house is hospitality. One way you could spend money on the 18th of May to create good future karma for yourself is to be hospitable to maybe somebody in need, or maybe to a friend who's lonely and going through a difficult time. It's a great day to use your home for hospitality and spend money. So, go buy that nice bottle of wine and some cheese and do a platter and what have you, and have that lonely friend around and keep them company for the evening and have a good time, just, polishing off that bottle of wine in your home domestic environment. Use your home, spend money in your home to be hospitable and help. That's one example of spending money in a way that's going to generate beautiful future karma, because you've been kind to somebody in your intimate tribe, let's say, in your inner circle. It's also an energy, Venus conjunct the North Node, of forgiveness. And so maybe there's somebody in your family that you need to forgive. Now, you might not need to necessarily go to them and say, hey, I forgive you, but you might energetically turn to that person and offer forgiveness. You don't have to do it in person, obviously. But family, mothers, maternal line are seen from the fourth house So it's these kinds of people, you know, maybe it's you need to forgive your partner or your children or, you know, your mum or your dad or anyone in your intimate blood family. And if you don't have an intimate blood family, for example, if you have Aquarius here, your family might actually feel more like your friends are your family. They're closer to you than your family. So if those people, if there's anyone in that intimate circle of your life that you need to forgive and set them free and set yourself free from the bondage of, you know, guilt or shame or hate or whatever it happens to be, then do so. This energy is going to help you to embrace forgiveness on this day. And also show love to yourself. You might like to show some love to yourself by creating a beautiful domestic experience. You know, it might be that you want to go have a soak in the bath one night, or on this night rather, or create a lovely, you know, candlelit bedroom. Indulge in your home, you know, create beauty in your home. Venus, beauty, tactile, scents, smells, taste, touch, sight, sound, all those tactile things in your home. Maybe find a new playlist that really just, you know, makes the atmosphere of your home divine, or get out an incense stick that you haven't burnt for ages and create a new smell in your home. Show love to yourself by creating beauty in your domestic environment, and it will really, like, it's perfect energy for this. You'll be hungry for more of that, and believe it or not, it can contribute to your future karma. If you feel happy and, you know, sensually, you know, aligned with your home experience, it can create a beautiful future for yourself in that home. You're creating good energy, you're putting good juju in your home environment, so go there. Of course, Venus is not only showing love for ourselves and self-worth and self-valuing, but it is showing love to others too. And so showing love to your family, not just forgiving them, but showing love to the people you care about in your intimate environment, your partner, your children, your parents. Showing love is going to create great future karma for you. Look for ways to do that on this day, and you will generate a positive forward momentum or fruit for your future. Alrighty, so Aquarius rising, sun or moon people. We are seeing the energy of the Venus conjunct the North Node falling for you here in your 5th house. This is where you might want to be conscious of spending. You might be very desirous of spending on 5th house things under this energy, but we need to be conscious of how we spend money, because it is going to contribute to our future karma. And here in the 5th house, you might be spending money on your children, or on getting back in touch with your own childlike heart in some way. I've shared in a recent video my love of Barbie dolls, pop culture Barbie dolls, Wonder Woman Barbie, Bewitched Barbie, etc. You might be spending money getting back in touch with your own childlike heart in a similar manner to what I've just described. You might also be spending money on your hobbies and intellectual pursuits. This is the house of intelligence, the 5th house. You know, a lot of people think, oh, well, you know, 3rd house is where our intelligence. No, it's 5th house is our intelligence. 3rd house is how we learn and how well we can learn. But if you want to know if you're intelligent or not, you have a look at the 5th house. So you might be spending money on your creative hobbies, or, you know, something you can do that helps you express your own creativity and your own creative intelligence. There's lots of ways we can be spending money here on dates and romance and good times, going out and having fun. This is the house of all those things, and that's where we can be spending money. But let's think about our future karma here. Maybe we might like to spend money that generates good future karma rather than sort of goes nowhere. It might be good future karma for you to invite a friend out to the comedy festival, and, you know, you pay for their ticket most generously. It's a very generous house, the 5th house. Or maybe you ask someone out for, you know, go to a restaurant for dinner. Maybe somebody who is lonely, or somebody who's just gone through a breakup or something, and you be kind. You ask them out for a good time. Maybe your children, you know, it's time to be benevolent or kind or generous to your children. They're precious little souls that are in your care. Why not spend money benevolently for your children in some way? It doesn't have to be a lot of money. You know, you might buy them like a block of chocolate or something like that you can enjoy with them. But be conscious of how you spend money. Do it from a place of Venusian love now to generate greater karmic rewards in the future. Venus is also forgiveness, and we might be able to forgive easier under this energy, because Rahu kind of enhances what it's with. It's hungry for more of it, so it wants more forgiveness under this influence. And so you might like to forgive your children. You know, they've left Lego all over the floor. You come running into the lounge room in your bare feet and youch, it hurts like hell. Oh, you've got to forgive your kids. They're just little kids. They've left Legos all over the floor. You know, maybe you need to forgive a lover. This is the house of people that we date and have romance with. Maybe they did something stupid and, you know, they've said sorry and we need to forgive. Under this energy, we have more power to do so, to forgive people. We can also show love more. We're hungry to give our love under this influence to our children, to our lovers. Maybe we're hungry to give, you know, love to ourself as well, because this is not a house of, well, it is a house of self-love. The Venus is about self-worth and self-valuing, and this is about how much we love who we are, and allowing ourselves to express who we are is part of how much we love ourselves. So it's a great day for allowing yourself to express who you are as a result of how much you actually love who you are. You love your creativity. You love your flair, your style, your intelligence, what you love your hobbies, and being able to enjoy your hobbies is a way that you might show love for yourself on this day. Get back in touch with that little inner child that needs your love. Speak to your inner child under this energy and show love to that little girl or boy who needs, you know, to know that they are still valued and treasured within you. Doing all of these kinds of things is great for our future karma under this energy, and we're going to be hungry for more of it on the 18th of May. Now, if we are Capricorn rising, sun or moon people, the energy of the conjunction of the North Node with Venus is falling in the 6th house down here. Well, what does this mean? This is actually probably a more difficult placement than for perhaps some other signs, but that's simply because the 6th house is challenging. You will need to be conscious of how you spend your money on this day. It will affect your future karma, but also because the North Node is hungry for more, and Venus is to indulge, to have pleasure, to spend. In the house of poverty, you've got to be so careful that what you spend your money on doesn't break you or doesn't empty out the bank account. So be very conscious, Capricorn, rising, sun or moon people, of how you spend your money, because it's probably going to have the most karmic influence of any sign for you this week. So you might like to, instead of, you know, spending on indulgences, Venusian things, why not spend on people who need your service? You know, like maybe you're a really good seamstress and, you know, you notice that someone needs their jeans patched. And so you offer to patch their jeans, and, you know, you buy some thread and some cotton and some extra denim or whatever, and you patch up their jeans in a really funky way. That is a way of spending money that's an act of service that can be beautiful for your future karma. Remember, the North Node is our future karma, but it's here in the house of how we burn our past life karma as well. So it's a really good idea to build for your future karma by offering service that burns away your old karma. Hope you're all following me there, or understanding me. So find ways to serve. You know, maybe you might want to spend money on, you know, buying, you know, filling up a basket with a heap of salad rolls and going downtown Melbourne and giving a meal, like a salad roll, out to all the homeless people. And there's far too many of them in Melbourne. It's really sad. But these are the kinds of actions that you can spend money on, Capricorn people, to create great future karma for yourself. Also, it's a time of forgiveness. Rahu with Venus is hungry for more of Venus, and Venus is forgiveness. So maybe there's an enemy from long ago, let's say, that you need to forgive. Well, this is the time to do it. And you don't have to go up to their face and, you know, engage with that bully or that predator or that horrible person, because 6th house rules those kinds of people. But maybe for your own sense of happiness, you need to forgive that person and set yourself free, energetically, perhaps not in person. So if there is some sort of evil dude in your past, then find a way or a ceremony you can do, or create right energy space to forgive that person, but most of all to allow yourself to be free from the grip that person has on you if they wounded you. And that brings me to my next point, which is how we can show love. And you might like to show love to yourself by forgiving an enemy and setting yourself free. You may also like to show love to an enemy. Now, that's not for everyone, and I'm not encouraging you to go and be a martyr and put yourself in harm's way, of course. But maybe there was a colleague at work who was a real dick, and you decide that, I know that person, I can't stand that person, and I know they hate me, but you know what? I'm going to do something kind for them. I'm going to show love to that person. And when I, buy my morning tea donuts, I'm going to buy an extra one and give it to that person. Show an act of kindness, show love, and you will be creating great future karma for yourself. Now, that might seem a bit funny, like, oh, well, isn't that a bit selfish? I'm actually not doing it for that person. I'm doing it for my own benefit in the future. Well, yes, in a nutshell, yes, that's the case. But what's wrong with that? So show love to people. And in this house, the house of enemies, how can we show love to people who haven't got our best interests in mind? It's a challenging one, isn't it? And as I just want to reiterate, don't put yourself in harm's way to do that. Little things, not big things, little things can actually contribute to future karma for you that creates a better world for us all and lifts the vibration. You are going to be hungry for more Venusian things on this day. That could be because this house has to do with our bodily health and well-being. You might be hungry for more pleasures and indulgences that help your health and well-being, like a massage, or you might be hungry for perhaps a bit of time in the what do they call those hydrotherapy things, where sensory deprivation tank or something like that's going to help your health and well-being, but it's also a sensual Venusian experience as well. So it's not a bad day for getting involved in those sorts of activities also. And I would encourage you, it's good for health and well-being to be in nature, to be out in the sunshine, smelling the daffodils. Actually, daffodils don't smell that much. Jonquils, or the roses or whatever it is. Be in nature and enjoy the sensual tactileness of nature. You'll be hungry for more of that, and it's going to be great for your soul on this day. Okay, for Sagittarius rising sun or moon people, the energy of the conjunction of Venus with the North Node in your 7th house, well, that's kind of fun. This is where you can create great future karma with Venusian measures today. And here in the 7th house of relationships, bonus, lots of fun. Venus in the 7th house, lovely. It's all about love. It's all about relationships, but it's also about forgiveness. Maybe you have a business partner. Maybe you have somebody out there in the general public, or, one of your clients even. These are all 7th house people. Or maybe you have a marriage partner that you need to forgive, and you need to offer them that forgiveness. Maybe not in person. I'm not saying to go and sort of, show up on their doorstep with a bunch of big red roses or something, but maybe just energetically turn to that person and forgive them. Because what you're doing when you do that, you set yourself free, and that actually generates positive future karma for yourself. So think about it. Other people, is there anyone in the other person realm of your life that you need to forgive, and go there energetically? We also need to be conscious under this energy that's creating our future karma on the 18th of May of how we spend our money. And here in Venus is spending, and here in the 7th house, we might be spending money on a business partner, on a marriage partner, on a contract or an agreement or an arrangement of some sort. And just be wary of how you spend your money there. Try and do things from a place of love and positivity and faith and hope and optimism with how you spend your money in those realms, rather than I'm going to create a contract, I'm going to pay a lawyer to create a contract, and that's going to stick it to that person. That's probably not a good way to spend your money with a legal professional under this energy, because it's going to create future karma for you. So how can you generate positive future karma, kind future karma for yourself through how you spend your money on others on the 18th of May? So It's also an energy of showing love, which is great. And when we have Venus in a conjunction with the North Node, we are desirous of more Venusian things. And in this case, what is Venusian things? Love. We want more love and we want to show more love. And so go for it with your partners, or your business colleagues as well, business partners rather. You know, show them love. Maybe you've employed an advertiser and you just like, I want to show them love. I'm going to send them an email to say, I love your work. You've been just doing great. I'm so glad that I'm working with you. And it could just be a note, an act of love. That's an act of love. It's not all love is sort of like, take me to the bedroom. But an act of love is kindness and coming from a place of joy in the heart. If someone is deserving of love, some business partner, marriage partner, somebody in the general public out there, show them love in maybe little ways. Send them a prayer, pick them a flower, do something that is kind and shows love to others, and you will generate great future karma for yourself. You're going to be hungry for more of Venus on this day, more love, more sensual experiences. And if you are in a committed relationship, well, this is a gorgeous day for indulging in sensual experiences together. You'll enjoy that. You'll be hungry for more of that. And why not? Love makes the world go round, doesn't it? Okay, Scorpio rising, sun or moon people. Well, we've got the energy of Venus conjunct with the North Node, and it's falling in the 8th house. So you might need to be conscious on this day of spending money in very 8th house ways. And you can do so that will enhance your future karma or not. Let's give an illustration of or not. If you spend your money perhaps by involving yourself with a mafia or a crime syndicate or prostitution, which are all 8th house things, then that's going to generate future karma for you. And I'll leave it up to you. Do you think that will generate positive future karma for yourself or not? How you spend your money in 8th house realms is going to be very pertinent to what happens to you and fruits for you down the track. So be conscious of that sort of thing. You might like to spend your money in positive 8th house ways, maybe by engaging a shaman or an astrologer, maybe by getting an energy healing or going to see a psychologist. These are great ways to spend your money in 8th house realms. And in doing so, you can generate positivity for your future. Now, Venus is also forgiveness. So today, the 18th of May, not today when you're watching this, but the 18th of May, on this day, you will be able to have more ability to forgive people who have maybe caused crisis in your life. This is a house of crisis. You might be able to forgive people who have wounded you intimately. This is a house of intimacy. Maybe you had a lover, a deep, intimate bond with somebody, or an ex-partner or something, and they wounded you. This is a house of divorce, and they wounded you. And maybe it's time today, under this positive, helpful energy, to do so, to forgive that person. Perhaps you don't have to go up to that person, in person, but you could just forgive them energetically and set yourself free instead of obsessing, stewing, getting paranoid about that person, following what they're doing on their every move online and what have you, and being obsessive. Forgive that ex-lover or that ex-husband or wife and move on, be free. This energy can help you to do that because Rahu, the North Node, is hungry for more Venusian things, which is forgiveness, peace, calm, and tranquility in your life. I know this is a house of crisis, but why not try and generate more Venusian things under this energy? It's also a good time to show love, and that will help generate future karma for us as well. Maybe you've got a great astrologer. Maybe you've got a great shaman. Maybe you have a great psychologist. Maybe you want to show those people how much you appreciate them. Show love to them. Maybe you have a wonderful, intimate relationship with your significant other, and it's just, second to none. Well, maybe it's time to show love to that person through an act of kindness, through some act of generosity, or just a means of appreciation. Today is a great day for doing that. You will actually feel hungry for doing that, hungry for more Venusian things. While I'm on that topic, Venus is also our beauty as well, and this is a house of transformation. So you might be hungry to transform your, it's not so much physical appearance, but your beauty, your hair, your face. Venus is the face. So you might try a new makeup. You might get a regenerative treatment or something like that, some IPL or something, and look to regenerate and transform and renovate your Venusian self, the beauty. You might also like to look at perhaps doing some beautiful renovating work to do with, other decor and style oriented things like home, or your clothing cupboard. Now, not that the 8th house has to do with clothes or your decor in your office or your home or anything like that, but it does have to do with transformation and renovation. And Venus rules our style and our flair and our decor and that kind of thing, our fashion. So you might transform those things on this day. Maybe buy some new pieces, some new items that help transform. You'll be hungry for a new sort of glam, fresh, luxurious look in those realms because of Rahu's hungry nature with Venus, the goddess of style and beauty. So very interesting day for Scorpio rising, sun or moon people. Now Libra rising, sun or moon people, as they're having this energy in the most benevolent 9th house, which is lovely. This is a house of our ethics and morals and beliefs. So you might find that on this particular day, the 18th of May, you will be conscious of how you're spending money on your beliefs. You might, let's say, buy some books or publications that explore ideologies and philosophies perhaps, or religious attitudes and beliefs, and do some exploration of that sort of thing. That's actually a really good thing to do for your karma, your future karma, spending money on those 9th house things. You could also spend money on maybe a trip on this day. Now that may not be for everybody, or probably very dependent on what's going on in your personal natal chart, but how you spend money is going to affect your future karma. And if you lay out money for a big trip to Europe on this day, that's going to actually affect your future karma, and hopefully positively for you by having a trip to Europe where, it could end up that you, meet the love of your life on the Amalfi Coast or something like that. How you spend your money on travels, on higher learning, doing a course, books on beliefs and cultural attitudes and what have you, philosophies, these things can all generate future karma for us. And I would say generate in the positive, because the 9th house is a benevolent house. Venus is a benefic planet. Rahu amplifies Venus. It gives more of Venus's good stuff under this influence. So think about how you're spending your money, and maybe you might like to set aside, if you're planning a trip and you want to buy, your tickets and what have you, why not buy them on this day? Because it could bring you positivity in the future. Now, also this is an energy of forgiveness. Venus is to forgive, and here it is in a conjunction and amplified by the North Node. So what does that mean? Well, it might mean that you need to forgive somebody who was perhaps in a position of guruship for you at one time, and maybe they let you down, or maybe a father figure or a role model in some way, a benefactor, because that's what this house is all about, people in those sorts of inspirational places in our life. Maybe somebody let you down and you need to forgive them. You need to say, look, I understand you're human, and maybe my illusions were shattered, but that was my issue, that I had those unrealistic ideas about who you were, and I forgive you for being human. Maybe that's something that you need to explore. Forgiveness for people in those sorts of positions. Also, how we can show love is seen on this day too, and you might like to show your appreciation to somebody who's an inspirational figure. Maybe you follow Gemini's social media, somebody on social media, and they inspire you, they uplift you all the time, they give you hope, and maybe it's a day for showing love to that person, appreciating that person. In doing these things, in forgiving people, in showing love to people, we're creating great future karma for ourselves, and Venus supports us doing that on this day. Why not? Why not generate some positivity for yourself for the future in that manner? We're also going to be very hungry for Venusian things. Now, here in the ninth house of other cultures, you might find that you're very hungry, literally, for maybe a cultural experience like going out and exploring some, like a Spanish restaurant or something like that, or going to a Malaysian food night or something. Getting involved in some sort of luxurious or decadent or enjoyable cultural experience is very much the nature of Venus conjunct with the North Node in the ninth house. So enjoy, people, Libran people, get that cultural hat on. Okay, Virgo rising. Oops, I'll straighten that up. Sun or Moon people, the energy of the conjunction of Venus with the North Node is occurring in your 10th house. And so you might want to be conscious of how you're spending your money in 10th house realms on this day, because it will affect your future karma. So that could be anything from, you know, buying a new camera for your YouTube channel that you are building, to spending money on a new suit for a job interview you're going for. What are your worldly aspirations? What are you striving to achieve in the world now, out there? This is where you may be desirous of spending money on this day, and in doing so you might generate positive future karma. You buy that brand new camera for your YouTube channel and it makes your YouTube channel just sparkle. It's good investment for future karma. You buy that spunky new suit to wear to your job interview, and you really impress with your presence and persona, and how you're dressed. So be conscious of spending money. If you have need to spend money on your future, on your career and your worldly aspirations, this is a great day to do it, because it can generate positivity for your future. Venus is a benefic planet after all. Now, it's also a planet of forgiveness, and you may find, in fact, not that you may find, it's an excellent day for forgiving people in 10th house realms who've done us wrong. Maybe a boss didn't give us the break that we deserved, or didn't live up to a promise that they'd made, or did the dirty on us in some other way. And maybe we need to forgive that authority figure, that boss, for what they did. Well, this is the day for doing that. We have more empowerment to forgive those people under this energy. Venus is kind of amplified by Rahu, and Venus is the energy of forgiveness. So go there. It's actually going to be very good for you to energetically set someone free from, you know, they no longer have a grip on your heart and your soul, and you are set free, and they are not energetically tied to you any longer. So cut your contracts of, stewing and turning over and over and over those issues of hurt and wounding by setting yourself free and forgiving. Also, it's an opportunity to show love on this day, and this is also going to generate positive future karma, because Venus is to show love. And maybe for you it's an opportunity to show love to your boss. You know, maybe you've got the best boss in the world, and they just go above and beyond. I'm thinking actually about my son's employer. He's doing an apprenticeship, and he is just the best, most inspirational guy to my son, and I'm so grateful. I'm not a Virgo person, but there's an authority figure in my son's life. My son might like to show gratitude and show love to this guy, maybe by, I don't know, bringing a extra couple of donuts along in his lunchbox or something like that. This sort of thing. How can we show kindness? How can we show appreciation to people in authority over us on this day who we appreciate and care about? If we do that, if we take those steps, we actually are generating really good future karma for ourselves under this influence. We're also going to be very hungry for Venusian things. You might be hungry for a bit of pleasure in the workplace, luxury in the workplace, beauty in the workplace now. And when I say workplace, wherever you go, that is part of your career aspirations. You know, that could be your workplace, could be the local pub where you sing songs, every night with your guitar and people buy CDs off you. That might be your workplace. How can you create more beauty in the space where you are generating your future ambitions to manifest? Maybe, you're going to go sing a song at the local pub with your guitar, and you've got your little, case of CDs or Q code download app or whatever, and away you go, but you bring beauty to it, and maybe you offer a free something or other, free access to my song on Spotify, and you do some sort of love and appreciation for the world by offering a free download of a song or something, for example, and you generate good future karma for yourself. But you're going to be hungry for more beauty in your workplace environment. Maybe you bring a bunch of flowers into work. Maybe you burn some incense at work, or do something to create more beauty, more joy, more benevolence, more luxury at the place where you are creating your future aspirations. You'll be hungry for that, and why not? It makes the world a much more beautiful place. Okay, Leo rising, sun or moon people. You guys have the energy of Venus conjunct the North Node falling in the 11th house. Now, this is where you might be inspired to spend your money on the 18th of May, and that would be on friends. That would be on, perhaps buying a friend lunch out or something like that, or spending money on networking, connecting, making new contacts. You might be spending money on the internet, developing a website. You might be spending money on some sort of humanitarian cause or activism or something. This is where you may be drawn to spend money on this day, the 18th. You might also be drawn to spend money on your goals and dreams, and there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you have a goal of becoming a sculptor, and you need to go and buy a certain special type of wood to do a sculpture that you have in mind, because that's what you really want to do. You want to be known as a great artist and in wood sculpting or something, and so you might need to spend a bit of money going and investing in that big block of wood to do your sculpture. So be conscious of how you spend money, because how you spend money is going to generate your future karma now. Venus is to spend money here with the North Node future karma in the 11th house. So if you are spending money on your goals and dreams, if you're spending money with love on your friends, on a humanitarian cause, if it's coming from that place of I want to give, I want to be kind, I want to show love, then you are generating good future karma for yourself. And so watch your heart space with how you're spending money in those realms. And if everything's great, if you're doing it for the love of that person rather than I need to boost my ego or I need to look like I'm a great person, evaluate your intent, and then choose based on your intent to spend your money or not in certain realms, because your future karma is going to be what is impacted by this. Now, forgiveness is also an energy that of this day as well. I mean, North Node is going to amplify Venusian things, and forgiveness is a Venusian thing. Maybe you need to forgive a friend, or forgive a group that you've been involved in for something that they've done or some activity that they've undertaken. So maybe you need to set yourself free, and we do this by energetically letting that person go. It doesn't mean that you have to show up in person, and say I'm sorry or anything like that. If that's not called for, you'll know the circumstance that you're in. But maybe we just need to energetically turn to that person within ourselves, and say I free you from that influence in my life. I set you free, and I set myself free. Forgiveness is powerful, and just the pure intent of forgiving can be so life-changing. So that's another thing to consider. 18th of May might bring up those issues and empower you to let them go. Showing love is also another energy of Venus. And here in the house of friendship, why not show love to your friends and appreciation for your friends? If they've been kind to you, or even if you haven't contacted them for years, reach out, show love, send a bunch of flowers, meet up for a coffee, do something, shout them out to dinner, do something to show love and appreciation to the people who you value in your life, your friends. In doing so, we make the world a better place, and that creates and generates future better karma for all of us. So why not? We're also going to be hungry for the things of Venus today. Pleasurable experiences with our friends, indulgences with our friends, good times with our friends, social interactions with our friends. So, if you're feeling the urge to go hang at the day spa or the nail salon with your bestie, go for it. This energy is perfect and calling you to do those things and be present in that energy, which is really so beautiful, so rich. Okay, finally, Cancer, rising sun or moon people. The conjunction of Venus and the North Node is falling in your 12th house. Now, this is a house of past lives, and it's really interesting. We've got the energy North Node of future karma in the house of past lives here. What does that mean? With Venus, it can mean that you might be being influenced to spend money in a certain realm of your life. Venus is to spend money. That is actually coming through from your ancestors or a past life idea, past life belief. Maybe some entity from another realm is encouraging you to spend money in a certain realm, certain area of your life that's going to impact you for the future, hopefully positively. You might need to tap into your own higher self to determine, is this right for me or not? But if you're feeling like a undeniable pull to spend money on something, then do weigh it up and do consider that maybe it's coming from a higher realm, encouraging you to do something that's going to be for your greater good in the long term. You might also be being called to spend money on 12th house things, going to a movie, going to a photography exhibition, buying a costume for a fancy dress party. You might be feeling the call to spend money on a psychic reading or a channeling session or an astrology session with somebody, maybe on a healing session or on some medicine that you might need. So be aware of 12th house things. I've given you a few examples there. And if you feel the pull to spend money on any of those things, or maybe a trip to the ocean, that would be another thing. Or I could go on and list a ton of 12th house things that you could spend money on. They're just some examples. But if you're feeling a pull to any of those themes, then it's likely that that's your past lives and ancestors encouraging you to do something for your greater good in the future. Now, this is also the energy of forgiveness. Venus is to forgive, and it's in a conjunction with the North Node. What are we forgiving in the 12th house? We're forgiving our past actions. That can be past actions in this life, or it can be past actions from past lives if you're aware of things. So some people have past life regressions and they see themselves doing the nasty, and we've all had many lives and we've all done many things. There's no judgment about that whatsoever, and maybe there's a need to forgive yourself for those things. Maybe you were nasty in your childhood to someone, or you're a real shit to your sister or something, and you need to actually forgive yourself for your past actions. Maybe you need to offer forgiveness to whoever it was that you hurt as well, but even if you did something that actually wounded you in terms of where you're at right now in life, maybe you made a poor choice or a poor decision or spent money in a way that's left you in a really difficult circumstance in life now, today is the day to forgive yourself for those mistakes, for those things in our past lives that have not been for our best. And we all make those sort of faux pas. So, there's no shame in that. Forgive yourself and set yourself free from that hanging over your head for the rest of your life. Today's the energy to do so. It's also an energy of showing love, and you can show love and appreciation to past ancestors. How do we do that? This is like people who've passed over, basically. You might like to put some flowers on grandma's grave, as simple as that. Or offer up a prayer of thanks for everything that Nana taught you. You might like to cook up a beautiful barbecue that was Grandpa's specialty, and have it for dinner that night and remember Grandpa. By remembering and honoring those who've gone before us, we're actually showing love and appreciation for them. So in whatever way works well for you, honor your ancestors under this influence. And Venus with the North Node can actually bring you positive effects in the future because of your honoring of the past. We're going to be hungry for more of these things on this day as well. Perhaps more escaping into some luxury. Venus is luxury in the house of escape. So don't be surprised if you feel like you really just want to tap out. Maybe you want to spend the day in bed watching Netflix. Well, If you can manage that, why not on this day? Rahu with Venus, indulgence, pleasure, luxury in the house of bed pleasures, in the house of tapping out from mainstream, ordinary day, mundane life. Go for it if you can manage to do that. This energy is great for doing that, and why not be present in the energy of the moment if you can wrangle it. So that's what I'm seeing coming up for the week ahead, particularly on the 18th of May. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me close with a prayer and we'll go straight to the bloopers. Energy of love in the universe. What a divine thing to be experiencing, an amplification of all things Venusian this week. May we live in love, may we show love, may we forgive, so that we can be set free and vibrate at a higher level and bring a higher vibration to the world as well. And so it is. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next week. So if you're looking for a good day to initiate, and the moon and, forget the and, establish that. But you can do something that can encourage. So don't sort of put your foot in your mouth, or don't sort of stuff up. Golly, come on. So be loving, and in order to. So be loving. We be loving.